What's up, folks? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 Pod 19 Finals. How's it going, everyone? Hope everyone is having a great week. And let's get into some real good 40K. As everyone gets to watch me take my HUD off. That's fun. Forgot to do that before game. Oops. We're nailing it, though. How's it going, everybody in chat? Oh, yeah, I guess we can do a prediction. Let's get a prediction going in here before we get too far in. Set up for the next 10 minutes for those who want to dump some tokens in on the winner of this this particular game. But we have over here
for the Emperor
in the red for the Emperor, Dr. Dudes in chat, master of the soundboard. How's it going? Welcome in. We also got Nurgleman in chat. We got Raze in chat. Thanks everyone for coming and chilling. But we have over here in the red Beldaren playing some Chaos Demons. This is a bit of a classic Chaos Demons list. We got some Be'lakor, we got some big smashy boys, and a bunch of Tzeentch units, which is fun, obviously. There's the Flamers, as you can expect. Versus on the other side of the table, Csaszi, stream veteran. Although he was quick to remind me that he hadn't been on stream in a little while, as soon as we logged in. Yeah, Csaszi over here playing another classic list in the metagame right now, Emperor's Children. With this big pink Terminator brick today, we have decided to paint the shoulder pads on our Chaos Terminators pink. And yeah, I think that's pretty popular right now. We'll see how it's going. What's the hotness with Noisy Boys? Well, we'll talk about that in a sec, chat. Noise Marines may be one of the strongest troops options in the game currently. So let's talk about lists as the players are setting up. We are through the pregame phase, so they've selected their secondary objectives, and they're just putting their units down on the table. Beldaren here, starting first. He has a patrol detachment. This is an undivided patrol detachment, so he's not getting access to most of the Warp Storm abilities for his Demon's Army this time around, although we'll get a couple of them, as we'll see in a moment. That's being led by Be'lakor. Importantly, not in a Supreme Command detachment, so he does not have to be the Army's Warlord. So we do unlock a Warlord trait for someone else, which is good. Because Bellacor's Warlord trait is a little poopy. Poor Be'lakor, although he himself is pretty strong. We do have Shrouded Step on that guy, so with the ability to teleport core infantry around. And most notably, those Flamers. We have a Bloodthirster. This guy with Indomitable Onslaught, so he can only take 8 damage per phase. Alongside Argath, the King of Blades. Probably my favorite named relic in the entirety of the game. Makes this guy an absolute powerhouse in melee. He's difficult to kill with that Indomitable Onslaught, and he is starting in reserve. We do have these big... we're on Tear Down their Icons today, chat. And we do have these big line of sight blockers that can protect the Greater Demons on the first turn of the game, at least. Before the opponent moves up a little bit. And that is going to allow this Greater Demon to warp Locust within 6 inches of Be'lakor and 6 inches outside of enemies. It gives him just a 6-inch charge to get into melee as soon as he comes down. And with a CP reroll in the bank, you usually have some CP to play with. If you are playing Chaos Demons, then you're probably golden to get in melee with that guy. But he does have a ridiculous melee profile. He's swinging with no buffs 8 times. With his big axe for strength 16, AP 4, D3 plus 4 damage, thanks to Argath, King of Blades, ignoring attack modifiers, which is important because we do have a black rune of damnation on the other side of the table. Or he can split that attack up into his sweep profile, which becomes strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage for 16 attacks. Absolutely ludicrous damage output. We have a unit of Demonettes in that detachment. That's pretty good for dropping actions down on the table. They are move 10 base infantry with objective secured, so they're very, very good at winning the infantry fight against other light infantry. We have an Exalted Flamer and a unit of 5 Flamers in that detachment. Then moving on to a Patrol detachment. This one's coming entirely out of Tzeentch, so we are unlocking the Tzeentch Warp Storm abilities, most importantly that +1 to cast, but also we can be doing some mortal wounds with these units in melee, which is certainly going to be helpful against Chaos Space Marines who do hate to receive mortal wounds. That's bringing a Flux Master with Infernal Flames to cast some support powers there. Little guy on a disc. Unfortunately, no Fate Skimmer. The Fate Skimmer oftentimes you see to get +1 to cast on all of those support powers, but not today. We have a Lord of Change. This one is actually the Warlord. He has Incorporeal Form and the Impossible Robe. So he does have that built-in -1 to be wounded. And then can ignore 1 hit per phase. We have a unit of blue horrors and a unit of pink horrors in this attachment. So the pink horrors, we did talk about them a little bit on Tactical Tuesday. I have to do a little coherency check for these pink horrors here today. But this unit, if you can't one-shot it, which unfortunately the Chaos Space Marines may be able to once they get into melee, it is extremely difficult to kill. You're trying to fight through a 3+ demonic invulnerability save against shooting. And every time you kill one of those models, if the unit's not wiped on a 4+, they turn into 2 blue horrors. If you then kill the blue horror has a 4+ chance to turn into a brimstone horror, which means that on average, if you kill the entire unit sequentially, you have to kill 25 models to remove this unit from the table. Now, oftentimes they'll get touched in melee, and that will kill them, especially against Emperor's Children, which are relatively fast. Because their save in melee is particularly abysmal, but at range they're almost impossible to remove. We then have a unit of 6 flamers and a unit of 5 flamers to fill out the triple flamer wombo combo. And it looks like we are rolling to go first. Looks like Emperor's Children, going first, which I think Chaos Demons may be pretty excited about, to be honest. There's not a lot of shooting to be had this early in the game, and if the Chaos Space Marines elect to move aggressively far forward, then they can just get hit by mortal wounds immediately, which could be bad for them. We'll see what Csaszi elects to do. Speaking of Csaszi, while he goes through his first command phase here, we'll talk about his lists momentarily. Now, he is bringing Emperor's Children, Heretic Astartes, a build that is extremely popular right now. Mostly just for their speed. A lot of times, we're using marbles for our tokens. This is a little less useful than normal, but yeah, it could be fine. The resilience of these Chaos Terminator bricks is, legend at this point, and just making them faster with that Honor the Prince and the potential ability to advance and charge thanks to that Dark Apostle means that this unit can really push up the table super far if we really want to. What are you doing there, bud? Putting some guys inside trees? The other benefit that Emperor's Children get, obviously, are these Noise Marines that we're going to be seeing do some work here momentarily. We have a Demon Prince, a Dark Apostle, that one with a Illusory Supplication, so putting that Trans Hitman, only be hit on 4+, and no rerolls on the Chaos Terminators, make them extremely difficult to hit. Then, last but certainly not least, a Master of Possession with the Liber Hereticus. That's followed up by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of Noise Marines with Icons of Slanesh, so they do hit on 2s in melee. And the real exciting part of these Noise Marine units are that Blastmaster equipped Heavy Weapon Marine. The champions do have Power Fists, and that's because Emperor's Children ignore hit penalties. So you just punch with the Power Fist hitting on your normal 2+ rather than the 4+ that you would get if you were a non-Slanesh, non-Emperor's Children Marine champion. But then we also have that Blastmaster, and the Blastmaster is probably one of the strongest special weapons in the game, and certainly is what makes these Noise Marines particularly terrifying. It has either a 3-shot 48-inch range, strength 8, AP 3, 3 damage profile, or a 6-shot strength 5, AP 2, 1 damage profile. But they do have a special ability on that weapon where if they fire at half range, they get +1 damage, and that affects either profile that they elect to shoot with, which means that at 24 inches, they're firing 3 4-damage shots. At 18 inches, they're firing 6 2-damage shots, which makes them incredibly lethal against a wide variety of targets. Even if you have damage reduction abilities, that high damage gets through pretty efficiently. Having a 6 2-damage shots means they get through heavy or sort of medium infantry like other Space Marines pretty well. And they're good at poking both, sort of light infantry with the multiple shot profile or heavy vehicles with that 4-damage shot profile. Incredibly strong, especially given the fact that they do ignore those hit penalties with the Blastmaster. So most of the time they're hitting on 3s with rerolls thanks to Abaddon or the nearby Demon Prince. Whoa, disgusting. We also have a unit of Chaos Terminators there, kitted out with a ton of combi meltas and power fists. Again, that's because we ignore that hit penalty, meaning that these Chaos Terminators can be advancing and shooting those combi meltas, hitting on 3 still, or they can double fire their combi bolter plus combi melta and still hit on 3s. They ignore the penalty to hit with the double firing. We also have power fists on most of this unit, again, because they will just hit on 3s then instead of 4s, like they would normally. That unit's upgraded with the Black Rune of Damnation, so they're -1 to be wounded and can affect psychic powers within 18, which is going to be a pretty big deal in this case because we may see some smiting going on those guys. And then we have a Venom Crawler to give +1 to cast to the Master Possession. Also a little bit of exciting shooting in the list. Most of the shooting outside the Blastmasters, obviously the Blastmasters are pretty strong, but most of the shooting is sort of single target or single models firing. So having a pretty decent gun platform like the Venom Crawler certainly helps. Although I think the Blastmasters on the whole are definitely more scary. Last but certainly not least, we do have the Warlord of the list. It is Abaddon the Despoiler in a Supreme Command detachment. Give some rerolls to his friends over here.
Oh, that's an idea. At least the first turn I can cast freely because you're not going to deny everything.
Mm-hmm. Can he heal himself, by the way?
No, because I'm not. Because he's Black Legion, so I cannot heal him with the Master Possession.
Okay.
Yeah, we do have Pact of Flesh available to this army with that Master Possession to heal D3 and regenerate a model, but unfortunately, Abaddon ineligible to be targeted by that. So unless you are playing pure Black Legion, he cannot be healed, which means his phase cap will... if he loses a wound, he loses it in real life. What we may see here is Beldaren elect to push a Flamer unit aggressively forward and just take 1 chip shot at Abaddon. Maybe 2 Flamers shooting at him to try to get a 3-wound phase cap on him and make him easier to kill in the future. If we can get him down to 6 wounds, it's actually a really big cutoff point because it means he potentially can take 3 in the psychic phase and then be killed in melee. Abaddon, obviously, with that very important 3-wound phase cap. The secondary objectives the players have taken, pretty straightforward so far. We do have an Emperor's Children secondary objective. I'm going to have to actually look up, chat. I don't know if I've seen that one before. Adorn the canvas. But we are bringing in the Chaos Demon side. Assassination. Trying to get those Chaos Space Marine characters. That's a little bit of a scary one. I think the more I play Warzone Nephilim, the more I feel like, especially with the newfound power level of independent characters, that Assassination ends up being kind of a trap because it's very difficult to get to them and actually kill them. These Chaos Space Marine characters, they have Armor, Contempt, they have Invulnerable Saves. They're difficult to kill. And especially Abaddon the Despoiler giving up 4 points being your Warlord. He will probably die before the end of the game, but he will probably take as much fire as all of the other characters combined. So I don't know if Beldaren's going to be able to score that one out too highly, but maybe we see this Bloodthirster just get in there and chop everybody up. That certainly can happen. We have Raise the Banners High, pretty classic pick. Not only in this mission, but this format as well. And Reality Rebels, so he's going to score 1 point for each table quarter that he outnumbers, or equals or outnumbers his opponent in terms of units, and 1 point if he holds the middle of the table within 6 inches with the unit wholly within there. Over on the other side of the table, we are taking Assassination as well. A little bit easier against Chaos Demons, although it wouldn't really seem like it because the Chaos Demons characters are much, independently more difficult to kill than the Chaos Space Marine ones. But Chaos Demons characters have to be up in the mix of things, whereas Chaos Space Marine characters are oftentimes support units that are sort of hanging in the back and casting spells. Outside of Abaddon, obviously he's an absolute powerhouse. But we're going to see this Dark Apostol. That's interesting. We're going to see the Dark Apostol probably, relatively far back, within 6 inches of the Chaos Terminators, but standing behind them. The Demon Prince may get mixed up, but the Master Possession is going to be far and away from the Demon Army. Whereas on the flip side, this Lord of Change has to be smiting. Bellicor and the Bloodthirster, basically have to be up in the grill and fighting your opponent. And even the Exalted Flamer only has an 18-inch range gun, so he may just get charged if he ends up shooting something. And then we have Adorn the Canvas Eclectic as the Emperor's Children secondary. You score 1 victory point at the end of the battle round. A little bit awkward that Csaszi's going first here, because he is going to basically Beldaren will have the opportunity to counter whatever he does. But at the end of the battle round, it scores 1 victory point if he holds more objective markers than the opponent. More enemy units were destroyed by ranged attacks, more enemy units were destroyed by melee attacks, and more enemy characters were destroyed by Emperor's Children characters that battle round. Unfortunately, Abaddon the Spoiler himself not going to be scoring those, but that can potentially score 5 points a turn, so max in 3 rounds if you get all of those. Although, honestly, I think that's going to be a little bit tough. So we'll see how well that ends up doing. Looks like that was the entirety of the Chaos Space Marine turn. Just moving up the table, putting all of the defensive buffs on the Chaos Terminators, pushing them up. Abaddon the Spoiler standing in the front here. Now, he is, interestingly, if Beldaren elects to push forward with his psychic powers, which he may not with a 1 on that advance roll. I don't think it even gets him into this terrain to draw line of sight past it. Yeah, I needed, I think, 1 more inch to get there. Gonna spend one of your precious CP to get up in there? Seems... I'm not even sure that this is necessarily the right call, honestly. I think Abaddon just turns that guy into soup. Yeah, I'm not sure that we have great lines of sight there. But if Abaddon ends up being the target of those psychic powers, he can basically only take 1 of them before they stop hitting him because he has that 3-1 phase cap. So he can potentially blank smites or infernal gateways that go in. Although, to be fair, the Lord of Change does have a couple targeted powers he could be using.
So
But
who
a
your
couple, I
psych
think,
is
just mean Lord of Change.
Possession and no, the possession.
The Doom Prince. Yeah, okay. So from this guy.
He could potentially splash Abaddon with an Infernal Gateway, for sure. Both Infernal Gateway and Smite do hit the closest visible, which means that even if Abaddon is physically closer to the Lord of Change, because it looks like the Lord of Change doesn't have line of sight to him thanks to the obscuring terrain in the middle, it is going to go to the Terminators.
Warpstone points at the beginning of the battle round. Now.
This is so aggressive from the Lord of Change, though. I wonder what the game plan here is. I think we're just going to try to get everybody up into a big scrum where the Flamers and the other Chaos units can follow up and actually kill this Chaos Terminator unit. Another weird part about the Chaos Terminator brick is that, you know, it is very fast in Emperor's Children, but oftentimes it starts to outpace its support with how fast it is if it starts to go for big charges. So if we see some big Honor of the Prince sort of advancing charges from these guys here to get into this Lord of Change on turn 2,
That don't involve terrible
it may force Csaszi to start using his stratagem to cast with the Dark Apostle after the command phase, which definitely starts bleeding his command points quite a bit. Now, I'm a little bit worried about these Demonettes here. Demonettes are they're not particularly squishy. They do have a 5+ demonic invulnerability save against ranged attacks, but in melee, a 4+ against ranged attacks, but in melee they are only a 5+. So these Emperor's Children units, especially punching a toughness 3 sort of mook enemy, are going to have a pretty good time attacking these Demonettes, so I'm a little bit worried about the this objective for Beldaren. I think he does need to maybe Shrouded Step some more units over there to support that. I do like this push of Be'lakor over towards objective 4. Be'lakor doesn't really want to be hit by these super powerful characters with high base strength because he does reduce your strength value, but he is excellent at just wading into small infantry units and punching them because that -1 strength means they wound him on 6s. So even though he only has a 4+ save, it makes it very difficult for those light infantry to actually get through to him. So if he starts to get a charge on this, probably in 2 turns, he kills all of these Chaos Space Marines and steals that objective away. The downside is that there's not a great place for the Bloodthirster to drop in, but here's the flip side. The Bloodthirster, being demonically manifested, can drop in wholly within Beldaren's deployment zone 3 inches away from any of Csaszi's units, which means that if Beldaren actually baits him forward with the Lord of Change, Csaszi can make the mistake of putting his models too close to the demon deployment zone and eating a charge of the Bloodthirster, not caring about where Be'lakor is standing at the time. And that lets Be'lakor go do whatever else he wants.
Yep, characters can do it.
What is the most Grapestone army in 40k? That's a good question. What's a very purple army? It's got to be like orcs, right? It's like Death Skulls orcs. No, they're blue. Who's purple? I guess Emperor's Children, right?
Flux Master is infantry. Alright, so he can...
That makes sense. Oh, that's true, chat. Yeah, you can't see purple orcs, so you don't even know what they do. That's fair.
These pings are just going to make sure that they are an inch away and that you can't charge in here. That kind of thing. You know how it is.
Don't care about that. You can charge me if you want.
Sorry?
I don't care about that. You can charge me if you want. I'm gonna stand next to the wall.
I do not want to charge you or to be charged by you. Or
Yeah, just
any
check
form
the
of charging
coherency
ever.
for these guys here.
Oh yeah, sure. This guy can come over here. And then I guess this guy can come over here.
You have to end your movements within engagement range there. So there is...
Yep.
It is illegal to finish a movement outside of coherency.
Alright, and then these guys.
Yeah, the Infernal Gateway on the Terminators could be cool. It does hit the Dark Apostle,
Around here somewhere.
which is very important because it has a decent chance of starting to kill the Dark Disciples.
Yeah, psychic.
Obviously, a
Yeah,
lot of
those are
that's going to
denies, I
get
guess.
counteracted
I
by
can deny the Lord of
Pact
Change.
of Flesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 2 denies. He has 3 casts, so let's go.
Alright, starting with the Flux Master, we're going to do a
Let's see what we get.
Gaze of Fate.
Can he? Oh, I guess when he does an option one.
Yep, so it's on 7. That just means I can keep my 2 Warp Storm points.
Oh,
Oh yeah, sorry, no, you're right. The Pink Horror should be doing the action, shouldn't they? Because then he can cast.
yes, it's fine.
That makes sense. Thanks. Alright, Lord of Change will go next. He will, I guess, try and kill these guys a little bit. What you got, boy?
Let's see that gateway.
Gateway, Flames, and Bolt.
The downside is that I'm not sure he has line of sight to any other models in the unit, so he may only get 1 hit off if Csaszi pulls the champion. And he doesn't really have to worry about the champion right now because the unit's unlikely to fail leadership, and he can just regenerate the champion next turn with the Pact of Flesh. Ronin Mitsu! Thanks
start
for the
with
follow,
Infernal
buddy.
Gateway. Ooh, it goes off on 8.
Anyway, let's go.
Yeah,
Denied.
Denied. Sweet.
Ooh, the gateway gets
Next up,
just-
let's do a Bolt of Change.
just raw dog denied, is that right? Oh, unfortunate.
That does not succeed. And finally, we'll do a Smite,
And fails the bolt of change.
which is a...
Smite barely
9.
goes off.
Need a 10.
Or does go off,
Nope,
but barely misses
so
the
just
super
free
smite.
or-
Ah,
For
1.
a single mortal wound. Danger zone.
You got him, kids. First
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. That was not a good psychic phase from that Lord of Change. That raw dog deny on that Infernal Gateway is unfortunate. That Infernal Gateway could have been brutal, but no, it was not to be. The Emperor's Children Psyker say, I would rather not be sucked into a terrifying Eldritch wormhole.
Which goes off on a 9.
It's not only infantry. You can just teleport the chicken.
I will find out for you. Let me find out. Because that was
You
my
definitely
plan.
cannot teleport the Lord of Change.
Go back there.
No, that's all good.
Hmm.
You are right. It is only infantry.
Oh, no.
That is deeply concerning.
Oh no.
Sure.
So
Cool.
it sounds like Beldaren was under the impression that he could shrouded step the Lord of Change,
Unit. This is bad.
but he cannot do that.
Sure, let's
That
make
is
it
not
first,
legal.
yes.
The teleport strat is when the
I feel bad about that.
is when the character is selected to
Fine,
move.
My own stupid mistake. He will die, and that will be the way that your Terminators destroy my chicken. Or Abaddon, probably by himself, can do it. All right. Yeah.
He's gonna do some
Yeah,
disrespectful
but that's during move. We're in psychic now. Is the problem?
That would cool. Yes, we'll try and shoot this unit with the Smite, assuming you're visible, which you might be from my wing. You can see this piece of this.
I say you can, yeah. Go for it.
that's the
Good old
gun
true
I
line
can
of sight
see.
there,
I can
chat. Oh look,
touch,
it's
see.
your gun. I'm
Um,
gonna shoot you with a
how many attack speed do these guys
mind
have?
bullet.
So they have 3 base. The champion is 4. Yes,
Alright.
4. The power fist is strength 8.
Cool.
So
We'll
we
go
did drop
for
the
a
flamers
betraying
down here.
shades then on those guys.
Awkwardly in line of sight of the stuff on the other side of this objective. I think Beldaren maybe a
Which
little
goes
bit
up on the
flustered there.
On the first unit, right?
Not sure where they could have
yeah,
dropped,
whichever
but I
unit
would have
this
liked
guy
to
is
see
in,
them
'cause that's the only one I
alongside
can
the
see.
board edge here. That could open them up to this. There is one Noise Marine unit in strategic reserve. It could open them up to get attacked by that unit, but
So they had
I think
down to
Beldaren
2
is fine
each
with
and
that.
champion is free.
No, this is I roll 1 dice for each attack
Oh.
you have.
So they have 3 base.
Yeah, plus a champion has 4, I assume.
Yes.
Sure, so that's 16 attacks.
So this is a
On a 6, you take a mortal.
Shades.
It's not
4
nice. You're rude.
mortals. I mean, I gave you a free chicken. Can't be that rude.
1, 2.
Cool. So
These are the free guys who need to be free.
sure,
And the
they were
ones
in
that-
this guy's unit, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And so coherency, I'm guessing this is.
Oh, it's good. Oh, sorry. This is D3, so
Okay, this one.
Yeah, I don't know. The Lord of Change is -1 to be wounded, right?
Cool.
I think maybe he'll be fine. He's got Impossible Robe. That's pretty good. I mean, there is a universe where he doesn't die, but it's one of the less likely universes, I think. But certainly, demonic invulnerability makes you very difficult to
Same unit with 3 guys in.
damage, and then -1 to be wounded can make some awkward things happen, especially since Emperor's Children, I don't believe, have any access to wound rerolls right now.
Yeah, let's shoot the unit of 3. All right, 5 d6 plus 15 shots.
Now the benefit here actually is that
15.
Csaszi only has 1 unit in this top left table quarter. Obviously, his Beldaren's army is over here, and if these flamers end up killing this Noise Marine squad, which they do, because Csaszi put most of his army in the top left, that will actually mean that Beldaren scores an additional point on Reality Rebels because he will hold 3 table quarters.
2 guys and a half, so the champion alive.
Oh, maybe I mistook what was happening there. Just kidding, chat.
All right.
Looks like 1 guy survived, so
Then
unless he runs away, which he may.
we are not charging anyone. We're not fighting anyone in morale. Just this guy.
Please run away.
So I lost 4. His leadership 9. So I'm good on a 5. Right. Yep, just roll it.
Oh, he runs! There it is. Got him.
He should have died.
Hilarious. All right, so that does give Beldaren that additional point for Reality Rebels. And that will be helpful, especially since the Chaos Space Marines are going to start pushing aggressively into his territory. So scoring those points out early is going to be useful since he may not get them in the mid-game. It's usually a late-game secondary, but getting a big score on it early is pretty good.
8 and 2 banners.
Yep. Oh, I need to do Reality Rebels, sorry. I've got 1 guy within the center. I've got equal to on this quarter, more on this quarter, and equal to on this quarter. So I get 4 points for Reality Rebels.
I think it's wholly within 6 inches of the middle, right?
Good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is holy, so I don't think this guy is. Let's find out. Nope. So it's just 3.
Command phase stuff.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Translate
Although,
to
in
Intimidators.
fairness, that Lord of Change literally didn't roll high enough to get within 6. So that's not... obviously, I think Beldaren didn't expect him to be there at the end of that phase, but it does... it wasn't a mistake not scoring that Reality Rebels. He just physically couldn't do it. Although I think if the Lord of Change had rolled higher, it probably would have been... is my Telestrator on? May not have... Remember to turn it on here, chat. It may have been down here, I think.
These guys just gonna keep on people. Actually, they can run. Ooh.
Hey, they're moving far.
But he did get a unit, so that's pretty
Places to
good.
go. People to see.
Gonna be throwing a big advance here to try to drop some shots into the
Demonettes.
Demonettes.
Why not? They have an assault weapon.
The Marines not so worried about what the Demonettes will do back to them. Demonettes they do have a pretty decent AP value for Chaff Infantry, or AP2, but obviously Armor of Contempt will do a lot to make that less scary.
More than 13 away. That means I move 5. It's an 8-inch charge. If I kill a guy and put it back, it's a 5-inch charge. I'm going to put in a 6.
Yeah, interestingly, we do have that Ritual Dagger on the Master of Possession. So that wound will actually potentially make things a little bit harder for Beldaren because the Master of Possession has an easier chance of than just killing that Terminator to regenerate him with Pact of Flesh.
To place a banner.
What an ability, chat! What a fair and balanced psychic power. I'd say that might be the psychic. That might be the single effect in the entire Chaos Space Marine Codex that tilts me the most. I like my damage to stick once I do it to somebody. I don't like it that they keep getting guys back.
Somehow. And we're going free. We're doing freeze here. Nope. So I think I'm just gonna go with it. Because why not? The Demon Prince will run. 17. So you cannot come into my deployment zone. You can come in 9 inches away, right?
Yes.
He's fine there. I'll run this unit.
Big 6 on the advanced roll to reposition this Noise Marine squad. Yeah, so the demonic manifestation only allowing units to drop in the opponent's deployment zone within outside 9 inches of them, so it is normally screenable. And Csaszi, you're definitely worried that Venom Crawler just gets punked. Now, it does look like Abaddon himself is just going to be standing on this objective in the center, and
He's always going to run.
Just chilling there for a while, not going for a charge. I am a little bit interested in whether or not these Terminators actually kill the Lord of Change. I think Abaddon, he has full rerolls. He does 1,000,000 mortal wounds. He can certainly do it himself, but I'm a little bit dubious that the Terminators do it by themselves. They'll probably be fine because they have Power Fists, so they're not quite as hampered by the -1 to wound as they normally would be. We do often see in other sub-factions, the Chaos Terminators, running accursed weapons, and those would have basically no chance of killing the Lord of Change. But the Power Fist will have a decent chance. But it does mean that they have less attacks on the whole. That means the Impossible Robe is going to be a little bit more useful. And winning on 4s, I don't know, can become awkward for people. Sometimes you just don't roll any 4s.
So I can come in on this board edge, right? But not in your deployment zone.
Good question. I think so, yeah.
And they can do the mission. $1. I think I forgot something, but I don't care. Right. Second phase, Demon Prince is going to give +1 to hit. Can I see this guy?
From the Demon Prince, yeah, looks like it.
He's just going to smoke. You can deny.
So it doesn't look like Csaszi's pushing too hard to steal that objective currently. I think he's going to try to sort of overload that side of the table with the Noise Marines. Although with those Flamers and the Bloodthirster in reserve, I'm a little bit worried that that stuff could die. None of it is particularly resilient to Flamers or Bloodthirsters.
D3 Terminators. 3. He's got dies.
So
So
Stabza,
he has +2 to cast. He's going to do Back to
Terminator.
Flash. Goes off on a 12.
Which one's that again?
He's good.
Yeah, what's back to flash? Sorry. that
I can heal a unit and put one guy back.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So he's healed. He's
Moondog 990, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you.
PT coherency somehow. I can do it.
So stabbing the
So
Terminator, then
that's,
regenerating him into the front of the unit to get an additional couple extra inches of charges on the charge. We could also make Honor to the Prince to automatically pass that charge as well.
I will try.
Does the fear nothing?
Why not? Nope, you get it.
He's gonna do +1.
Moondog,
Toughness.
what table mod is this?
Goes up on the
So we're on Tabletop Simulator right now. Exclamation point how to play in chat. Could get you to the
3 spells for this
playlist that we have for tutorials just
He
to
can cast 3 because of the red.
start things up. To get going, we play in the Discord all the time. Play a lot of competitive events as well.
Shooting size.
And this is the finals of one of those, in fact.
So these guys can shoot Demonots. It's
Yep.
Assault 6. So they advance, but they don't care. They're hitting on 3 rolling 1s, exploding 6s. So this is 2
Ooh.
extra.
That's better than average.
That's a
Strength
solid
5,
shot from
threes.
that.
Yeah, 3s, yep.
Yeah, back to
You
flush is
don't
fine,
care
chat.
about AP, so these are damage 2.
Everything's
but don't
fine.
care.
Death Guard should have back to flash.
But-
Death Guard's the one faction you would expect to have
Uh,
back to flash. It doesn't make so much sense for I guess Space Marines proper.
I will spend 2 CP. This unit can shoot even if they do the action. Do the same thing. Freeze. More reroll. 6s explode. Whoa.
Oh my god. So shoot into an action with the Blastmaster back here.
Mm-hmm.
Dump a bunch of gate damage into this Demonite unit. May actually just kill it, which would be unfortunate.
I should still have my icon here. I don't know where she's gone.
The Terminators. I have 4 moving combi maltas. I don't know where they are. So 1 here. That's in range. I need to find them. 2. Yep. 2. I have 2. I have 3 Maltas in range and all the bolters.
Mhm.
3 Maltas hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s, exploding 6s, rerolling everything because of Beldaren. Give them the buff. Freeze. 2 immons.
-1 to wound, so it's 4s.
Oh, the chicken? Okay.
And then just 1-3 up, right?
Yep.
I'll impossible robe that.
And I have 10 guys, so 40 boulder shots. Right?
Are they all in rapid fire range?
They're Terminators, so they don't care.
Okay, sure.
Freeze roll. And 6s.
5.
Still pretty solid there. Let me get a chip a wounder through there.
Yay!
2 damage onto
Yep.
the Lord of Change.
All right.
Do have some Blastmasters coming in though. That's where the real
I think
damage
I have
comes
another
from.
target, so these guys
Being able to robe away one of those big Melta shots certainly helps.
Minus on the wound.
-1 to hit, right?
I don't care about the -1 to hit.
Okay, sure. Yeah, -1 to wound as well.
So 5 6s. 1 AP a lot.
Sure, the AP is irrelevant, but 4s. Yep.
These guys will shoot the flamers. 6 shots. 2 explosion.
I believe we could
these are damage 2,
use
but on your index.
excruciating frequencies, right, to block the flamers from overwatching. Although I don't think that these Marines actually want to charge, though, because they would be losing the objective if they did so.
5 of them, right?
Yep.
First 2. 1 guy dies.
Oof. Brutal.
Next 2. They're fine. And the last one.
And I'm also gonna spend 1 CP, so they were hit by a sonic weapon, so they then cannot fire Overwatch.
Oh, there you go.
Wow, okay. I might CP roll that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll. Oh, sorry, that should still be 4.
It's 2, right? Is the 8 dice? Oh no, it's end of the battle round.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a new battle round. You have to roll new ones.
Oh, you're right. My apologies. Okay, so let's say if I do need to roll 8 dice. 4. I will remember this one day, I promise. Alright, so 2 plus 2. I've got 4 still. Great. Good job,
So
team.
the excruciating frequencies is when the unit is selected to shoot, not after it's completed its attacks.
Alright, sorry. My bad. Put it back. So they can fire Overwatch.
1 guy dies.
Yeah, it also would deal mortal wounds in
Somehow
addition
read
to.
it before I use it. These guys need 9. If I charge, they fail the action, but I don't trust your failing morale.
Yeah, all of
Because
those
I need a
Daemons
6
running away
here.
would be pretty.
With a
Pretty
+1 from
unlikely.
Daemon. So, yeah.
Yeah, we got to keep these Chaos Space Marine players in line, chat. They're just using their stratagems willy-nilly.
These guys will charge the
Unacceptable.
criminals.
I guess we will Overwatch if we're allowed.
Yeah.
The
Too much.
operative thing there, Chad, is obviously when you using the stratagem after you, despite the fact that Csaszi would have lost sort of the efficiency of doing mortal wounds, using the stratagem after you fired your weapon means that you know that you have attacked with the weapon and how much damage you've done, which means that obviously you have a lot more information than using it beforehand.
Woo!
He may not have cared about Overwatch so much if
Alright.
Ouch.
the Blastmaster had just peeled like 3 or 4
Sometimes.
flamers, which he certainly could potentially have done. So it looks like the saving throws went absolutely wild for the Marines here. And they did save against the Overwatch. Now, it looks to me like Beldaren does have a pretty appreciable number of command points remaining here. He has, or excuse me, of Warpstorm points. He has 4 Warpstorm points in the chamber. So he could use, at some point, the Tzeentch Warpstorm ability to do mortal wounds to these guys.
Be within half.
Because what Csaszi's trying to do is murder the Flamers, yeah, and then use his consolidation with the Blastmaster model, who doesn't have a melee weapon, so he's less useful in melee here, to then push back to Objective 4 and take that objective back. And Beldaren does potentially have the opportunity to lock him in there.
Yeah, I think he did.
I think that we are on another Princeing a big charge in here, looks like. Big 12er now. So they get to push
This little
super far
change is
forward,
not
although to
letting
be
it
fair,
finish
those
then.
pink horrors are actual naturally objective secured because they're not blues. So even if those cast terminators push really far forward, they would have to a little bit of trouble taking the objective away. The one downside of this list is once you get the Noise Marines, and to be fair, the Noise Marines are just as easy to kill as any normal Space Marine. They're just a T4, 2 wound body. Once those go down, there's no objective secured for this list, and that is a general problem for Space Marine, Chaos Space Marines that aren't Black Legion. Black Legion doesn't have a lot of objectives secured. What are we doing here, bud?
Guy up there.
It's just he's going for a little climb. He wants to enjoy the view. Yeah, Chad, these Chaos players be wild in for sure. But again, like we talked about, Beldaren now has the opportunity to drop this Bloodthirster right in his own deployment zone and just immediately hit this Terminator brick. And the Bloodthirster is particularly good at killing Chaos Terminators because he does ignore Black Ring of Damnation. They do have Delightful Agonies on them, so they do have a 5+ damage ignore, which will cut down the damage from that Bloodthirster quite a bit. But 16 attacks at 3 damage will normally kill probably 6 to 7 of those Terminators. Although the Trans Hitman does make things awkward.
It's 10.
Oh, that's these guys, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Well, failed the action, but I think it's worth it to take down the panel.
Yeah, so this
Oh,
making that charge there out of Deep Strike, pretty big deal. Looks like we did. That's the one we under the Prince, so we naturally 12 to the Chaos Terminator charge, and we did have that +1 to charge from Abaddon, so it was only a 5-inch charge. After the Pact of Flesh brought the front model back, and then making our charge out of Deep Strike here, but that does give us the opportunity to interrupt the Flamers and pop the Mortal Wound ability to try to kill off a couple of these Noise Marines. And if we kill off a couple of these Noise Marines, Csaszi, I don't think wants to pull the Blastmaster model, which means he'll pull attacks on the Flamers, and that means that these Chaos Space Marines actually have a very low chance of actually killing the whole Flamer unit, because that is still 12 wounds they have to get through, which is tough. And if in doing so, could lock them in place. So we'll see what Csaszi elects to do there, and especially since we have Be'lakor over here, Be'lakor can then just teleport that unit out, and they can shoot the rest of the Noise Marine unit to death. So we'll see what he elects to do. See if Beldaren sees that line of play.
2, 4, 6, 7 more.
All right.
And I have the Power Fist if I need to.
No, they're dead.
So losing an objective and a banner
Took
there
down my
for
banner.
Beldaren. Unfortunate. That was good aggressive play from Csaszi there. I was a little bit worried about his ability to fight for that objective with just the 2 Chaos Space Marine squads, but being able to attempt the action and still shoot and then kill the unit if he ended up getting enough damage if he needed to. Just shows you the consistency of this Chaos Space Marine Legion.
They have the real ones from the Demon Prince, so they're hitting on 3s rolling ones.
Looks like we did not interrupt the Flamers.
Hitting on
That's
2s
unfortunate.
because they have the icon. Fuck. Forget that. On strength 4
What's the icon, sorry?
is the icon of Slanesh, so I have +1 in close combat. +1 to hit.
Nice.
Uh,
And then strength 4, T4?
Yeah,
Pulse?
yep. 2, AP doesn't matter.
Ooh, flubbed out the attack though, chat.
Nope,
I think
that
may
was-
not
One guy's down to 1.
kill the unit anyway. Yeah, only
Power
4
Fists.
additional
2s.
attacks. Yeah, literally impossible to kill a Flamer unit now.
2s.
So that
3
unit will
more,
not be returning to
damage
their
2.
objective, I think.
Alright, so first guy. Nope. And then next guy. Nope. 2 dead.
3 dead, right?
Yeah,
Fair,
3 in
the
total.
first.
The first guy died from the... He was on 1 wound, he took 2 more, and then I failed 2 more.
Oh,
saves.
you have 5 up.
The damage 2, right?
Yeah. Forget. You have 3 wounds.
Yep.
Always forget that. Particular abilities.
Well, didn't even need the interrupt there,
Wow,
chat.
the Terminators.
Could maybe have saved a Flamer, but those
most important
those Chainstorm Space Marines flubbed so hard.
Save the best for last.
The
Those 8 attacks did 2 damage.
Hope so.
Rip.
So
Ripperonis.
let's do. I have champion.
All right, here's the real clincher, though.
Another
If the Lord of
champion.
Change survives here, it's going to be a big deal.
Hitting on 3s with 4 rolls.
Seems good.
Strength 8.
So 4s.
So
Oh, what a wound
Okay,
roll.
6 so far.
6 wounds
these
go
are
through.
these are D3.
Okay. So 6 5-ups. We will Impossible Robe 1 and take 4.
So 43,
Ouch.
3, 6, 8, 9.
So half kills him with just the chain fist attacks. Yeah, I don't think this guy's gonna
I
survive.
have 6 power fists.
Unfortunate.
So 18. 3 is wrong. On down force because of the -1. So give me 9 more. These are damage 2.
Sure.
They're doing some fist in chat for sure. That is
He's
not
done.
gonna
That
be
is enough to kill him.
good
Yep.
enough, right? Yeah, 12 more damage. See ya. So an unfortunate mistake from Beldaren there. Definitely didn't. He only overkilled the
So fight me back with the flamers.
bird by like 2,
Yeah, just
3
flamers.
maybe. Although I think we had an accursed weapon maybe to swing.
So,
Oh, maybe not.
7 attacks total.
Yeah.
Hitting on 4s.
So actually, and 2 of those wounds came from bolters. So there was a universe where that Lord of Change survived, especially with the CP reroll in the bank, but not this one.
They have leadership. They lost 3 guys, right?
Yeah, leadership 8. They lost 3 guys, so I'm looking for a 5. I think.
Oh, and the natural one on the flamers to
So I
survive.
killed 1 character. So
So
that's
you
3
win some, you
points.
lose some.
The rest of them is end of the turn. So
All right. I think it's time to bring some people on.
All right, well, definitely not a good turn for Beldaren. He lost his home objective here.
That is how the order.
He lost a banner and he lost his Lord of Change, but it wasn't all bad. He did. He sort of has this opportunity now that Csaszi has left his objective over here. Wasn't able to kill these flamers. Be'lakor can start to move over there and try to teleport those flamers out of melee to continue to fight with these Noise Marines. Especially now, a little bit awkward. We do have a Noise Marine out of cover, and those guys are very susceptible to flamers. And Csaszi probably doesn't want to start putting wounds on the Blastmaster and the champion.
Flamer's gonna try and pull back.
for it.
Oh, no, we're just going to fall back, I guess. So that will break Csaszi's banner. Beldaren just like, well,
Oh,
I'll
fine.
see you and raise you one broken banner, okay? We'll just trade.
Banner down.
I think that Beldaren may have a little bit of trouble getting OBSEC on Objective 3. He's going to try to kill the Chaos Terminators, but with the Trans Hitman and Feel No Pain, the Delightful Agonies on that Chaos Terminator unit in the middle, that's going to be tough. We could try to get the Pink Horrors on there, but it's unlikely they're going to get to a situation where they can actually tag the objective without being killed by Terminators. Fluxmaster jumping around the table. I think we're maybe going to start dropping Mondo Flamers over here around this guy. Oh, trying to shoot his Staff of Sorcery. Pew, pew.
I don't know if I can see them from here.
Or Staff of Change,
Yeah, you can
excuse
see
me.
them.
The Staff of Sorcery is inexplicably significantly worse. That is the ranged weapon that the Lord of Change can take. But unfortunately, very, very bad compared to the Cool Sword. The Cool Sword is much better.
All right, yeah, let's bring people on. I think.
All right. So time to see whether or not Beldaren's counterattack can do enough damage to rescue this game state. I think what he needs to do basically is have Be'lakor and the Bloodthirster convert a monumental number of attacks onto the Chaos Terminators in the center. If he can kill the Chaos Terminator unit and contest the middle objective, I think he's in a pretty strong spot. The problem is that that's probably the most difficult unit in the game to kill right now. Those two characters do ridiculous damage, but maybe not enough to kill that amount of defensive profile. We also have this Chaos Noise Marine unit on Objective 2 here. I think that Beldaren's going to have to maybe drop 2 Flamer units to deal with it and prevent that objective from being stolen permanently by the Emperor's Children. And if we do see a correct usage of excruciating frequencies in a future turn from Csaszi, Those flamers are pretty susceptible to noise marines coming back at them, since they can shoot them with the blastmasters to turn off their overwatch. And I'm just going to drop over here, it looks like. It seems a little close. Yeah, I think we can go 8 inches away from this noise marine unit because they are having their leadership reduced by the nearby flamers. We could also potentially see one flamer unit drop in behind the greater demons to try to put some damage into the Chaos Terminators. The problem is that the Terminators in cover, we do have 3 Terminators standing in cover. I do save on a 2 against them. And even with their Infernal Flames, they're only wounding on 3s. Rerolling 1s because of that Black Rune of Damnation. Comes the Exalted Flamer as well. Yeah, just going all in on the Terminators. I think Beldaren recognizes that he's down. He's down in a big way now. He lost what may be one of his most important units in this matchup, which is that Lord of Change, because being able to kill models with mortal wounds, so you get through almost all of their defensive effects, and potentially bleed your opponent out of CP trying to deny you, is going to be a tough thing, tough loss to overcome. But if he can come back and still kill the Terminators, he might be in an okay spot, but we'll see.
Excellent.
Yep, welcome back. All right. Psychic. So your psychers are here and over there.
I can deny Bellacore and the Fluxmaster, but only have 1 damage.
Yep. Alright, let's start
chat.
cycle.
Never would we thought that we would have to fall back on our heroes, the Zinch Flamers, to try to stop the oncoming rush of the Chaos Terminator unit. Yeah, they are very difficult to kill if you don't have mass mortal wounds. Mass mortal wounds is the way to deal with this unit, but if you don't have that in your faction, it's a tough time. You just have to outmaneuver them. The Emperor's Children one is a little faster than normal, but they're not the fastest thing in the world. They're not objective secured, and they can only be in one place at one time. So there is counterplay. As it turns out, fighting 30 Noise Marines is much easier than fighting 10 Chaos Terminators. So if you just run around and kill all those guys, you're in an okay spot.
We're gonna roll 18 dice. At least. What else he has?
He's got smite. He's got.
So it looks like we resolved a. Yeah, it looks like we resolved a Betraying Shades again.
Has Infernal Flames, which gives +1 to.
So it's gonna roll a ton of attacks against their own Chaos Terminator unit to punch them. Potentially do a bunch of mortal wounds.
Yeah, go on with the Betraying Shades.
Yeah, so it goes off. You got a champion in this unit?
Yep. Yes, 4.
Sure. So that's 19. Looking for 6s. 5.
Ah, big hit there from the Betraying Shades. A bunch of these Terminators turned around and punch their buddies for 4 damage. That's a good start. It's about as good as you could expect, I think.
That is a super smite, so I'll take some D3 more.
And we've perils with a Bellacore smite as well.
Oh, and between if you are
3 damage to Bellacore.
You peril on any double.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
But smite.
Yep. So D6.
Let's roll a 6, please. A 4? I think Beldaren is happy with 8. Make that 7 damage applied to the Terminator unit. All right. That's the start that we needed. Now, Csaszi pulling intelligently here. He is removing his models in cover, which is a little bit awkward for when he gets hit by the flamers. But it does potentially... Oh, no, not if he moves his models. It does potentially pull flamers out of range to shoot, which is a downside of the flamer unit. especially if you combo them with psychic phase damage, they can sometimes end up like literally just being pulled out of range to deal damage here. Oh, I think Beldaren maybe misplaced his units there. He does have 1/6 man.
With an 11.
There's a +1. Try to deny one. Nope.
Nope. Cool. So yeah, +1 to wound.
So got the Infernal Flames off and a huge roll. Beldaren probably would be.
Yeah, some +1
Would
to
wish
wound
to
things.
get a nice
You just have a D12.
super smite with that, but we'll see.
And then we'll do a smite on the Terminator unit, which is an 8.
D3.
Yep.
Oh, and another 3 mortal wounds. Oh
You're
man,
doing good.
Yeah, this
is the dice that Beldaren needed here.
1, 2 more fights.
Oh,
Oh,
and
wow,
but
okay.
it all
Good
gets
line.
saved by the
We'll keep
delightful agonies. Just kidding.
All
Both these players just
yeah,
trading
second
good
phase
dice.
was Great. Let's do some shooting. Starting with these 5 flamers here, going into this Noise Marine squad.
All right, Noise Marines. It's about to get a little hot in here, guys. He'll be fine. Don't worry.
Not bad. 18 shots plus 15 is 33. Threes to wound, rerolling ones.
Very good roll.
Yep. 1, 2, 3 dead. Nobody
you
else.
You don't get cover on all of them, right? You get cover on these two?
Unfortunately.
Oh,
only-
yeah. I have only 3 guys.
yeah.
Oh,
we'll get
let's say
slow
they
roll
die.
that out.
Alright, cool.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough.
Hope everybody's on it.
These flamers are going to go next into this Terminator squad. 6 shots. 19 plus 18 is 37.
A little bit of above average shot number
-1
there.
to
Pretty good.
wound. You have +1 to wound. They are tough +5, so you wound them first.
Yeah, strength 6. So yeah, was 37 is what I'm looking for.
It should be 3s, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
strength
strength 6, yeah,
5
yeah.
3s, right?
Yeah.
Rerolling
Yeah.
ones.
Because of the flavor. Herald.
Alright. -2.
So I have 3 guys in cover. That's 7 wounds. So they're gonna roll 2-ups. Because AP2 cover and I'm content. So let's roll by 7. 2-ups. And 3 open. So that guy dies. Next one takes a wound. So I have 5 more. On cover. 2 up. 1 open.
Slowly but surely.
Takes a wound.
This is
Takes
the
1.
the pain of shooting these
more
AP2
cover.
weapons into Terminators in cover with that Armor of Contempt.
2 up.
Saving through it.
4. 2 up.
Can we get
I'm
that
out.
last guy? No! The Delightful Agony saves him.
Another 4.
So
Yeah.
much damage coming in there when they're shrugging so much of it. The Delightful Agony saves him again. Oh my god.
4.
Definitely one of the
Yeah.
most painful things to watch. There he goes.
Takes a wound.
Model
Dies.
dies
And the last guy.
entirely.
Take
Yeah.
the last 2. 2
Well,
up.
yeah, and there's that 2+. I mean, the amount of additional damage that unit would have
So you've
taken
got
if
one guy
those
in
2
cover,
models
right,
weren't in
with 3
cover
wounds
would
left.
have
Yes.
Let's just test the breath weapon next.
pretty crazy. So almost pulled him out of cover, which would have been
decent
good,
shots.
but unfortunately, they're still going to take it.
You can only hit me with 4s.
Strength 5, so it'll be 4s, but you've got -1 to wound, right?
Yes.
So 5s.
Nothing from the Bloodthirster.
Let's do the Exalted Flamer at the Terminators again. He's going to do 3 shots.
You can only hit me in 4s.
Yeah, sure. First hit.
Ooh, good shots from the Exalted Flamer. This guy is
This
big
is
AP,
Strength 9, I believe.
so he does have
So
a
4s.
good chance of getting the damage through if he does convert. Only
AP.
one.
I'm going to double check that for you. I think it's 4, but it could be 3, so give me a sec. It's AP4.
So 0 up on cover, so 3 up on the guy. Yep, good.
Cool. And then finally, the Fluxmaster will use.
Wait, it's 84, goes down to AP3. Yeah, it's a 3 up, right? I'm counting well.
So your trip normally, it would take it to a 6 up. No, it's a 4 up, because it would take it to a 6 up from AP -4, and then you get +1 from content, +1 for coupling.
Yeah. So it's a 4 up. Okay, so I failed.
Damage 3.
Yep. So 5 ups.
Oh, knocks that last one out. Yeah. All right, chat.
Now we've got the Fluxmaster. Shoot into this squad as well.
We're getting there.
3 shots.
Exalted Flamer kills another model. Only 5 left for both the Bloodthirster and Bellicor to deal with.
Strength
And that
7.
we're getting to the realm where that
3,
becomes reasonable.
1. This is only AP.
So I think this sort of full commit into the Terminator brick was absolutely the right call for him, Beldaren.
All good.
Fluxmaster bounces with his little staff.
Bellicor's got an inch to go, so we'll start with him. Yeah, let's start with him.
Let's go, Bellicor. And really what we want to do is just toe that middle objective with 2 greater demons.
I think I killed Melt again, so...
Alright. A mighty 9 inches.
Big 9-inch charge. Probably see him just get right up in the front.
To be in 6 inches, so we are
just 3 with a battery.
Okay. If this is contested, does the banner fail? Or is it done at the end of the turn?
You have to control it.
Okay.
Warp and War! How's it going? Thanks for coming in, hanging out. We have a pretty exciting game here. Both these players made a couple misplays early, which I think has kept things kind of interesting. But we just saw this demon army descend upon a Emperor's Children Terminator brick and has killed 5 so far in 1 turn. Seems like a little bit of an undercommit from Bellicor there. Put Bellicor on the objective. Or not. I guess that's fine. Whatever you want. It's your Bellicor. Do what you want.
What he needed, which is good.
Maybe a bit early committing to the Terminators. I could see that, for sure. Especially since he was doing so well up in the top here. I think that the problem is that the counterattack that demons have is so strong that you open yourself up to the possibility that if the Terminators sit on objective 5, right, for another turn and just chill, or even just standing behind this objective so that they're hard to attack. He doesn't kill the Lord of Change, right, who's sitting in the middle of the table, who just gets to do whatever he wants. And then we probably see Bellicor and maybe some Flamers push around the side here, kill all the Noise Marines over here, and we see the Bloodthirster and a bunch of more Flamers drop in the deployment zone here and kill all the Noise Marines over here. And I think that you turn yourself into this position where you have these Terminators, but you have nothing left, and the Demon Army has surrounded you. So I think sort of toilet bowling the fight onto the Terminators is exactly what Csaszi needed to do in order to, get Abaddon stuck in, but also just force the demons into this engagement where they actually have to fight in melee, as opposed to just dancing around the edge of the Chaos Space Marine Army, which is generally how Chaos Space Marine Armies lose.
It's not minus. You can only hit me on 4.
All right, cool.
It's heavy arm, right?
That's the Eluster Supplication versus the King of Blades?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not an attack modifier, so it doesn't... It just tells you to ignore some of your attacks, yeah.
Cool. All right. At the start of the fight phase, I'm going to spend 1 CP to give Bellicor trans hit. And then Bloodthirster is going to swing out. All right, 16 attacks. Hit on 4s. Rerolling 1s. Bellicor.
You cannot reroll. You cannot reroll.
Sure.
And -1 to wound.
Pretty average there.
Yeah, it's your T5, so it would be 3s, but it's actually 4s because you're -1 to wound.
Well, the King of Blades does ignore that.
Okay, sweet.
That one is an attack modifier.
Okay.
Sweet. 3s.
There we go. We figured it out.
4 saves.
Killing the bird with Abaddon, sending the Terminators down to deal with the Flamers.
-2, so 4 up.
I don't know if they could have gotten far enough to deal with the Flamers that were
Damage 3.
down here. That would have been tough. Killing the bird with Abaddon would have been nice, but then you just lose Abaddon and your Warlord, right, to the swing back.
Sure. So 3 damage, doing nothing.
Probably.
So 1 guy takes 2.
Cool.
And it's my turn.
Oh no!
Sounds to me.
With the Bloodthirster just whiffed super hard.
Oh, I hate this kind of plans.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh well. Well, I was excited for Beldaren doing damage to this Terminator brick, but it looks like the Bloodthirster just
Three
got
guys gonna hit Belacor.
just
Two
got
guys gonna
diced
hit
out by that
Bloodthirster.
saving throw there, chat. Look at that. Look at the saving throw right here.
We have a Chain Fist here.
Whatever, man.
Another Power Fist.
Okay. That's unfortunate.
6 stacks from the Power Fist. 4 from the Chain Fist. Trans hit, right?
Yeah, try and hit.
No rerolls.
No rerolls.
4s.
That's pretty good rolling.
Stone 2, right? No explosion. Would be fun. And strength 8. Minus on the wound, right?
Yeah, 4s.
4s. AP a lot. The blues are damage. The blues are damage D3. The reds are damage 2.
Sure, okay, so let's do the damage D3 first. 4-ups. Both saved. And then
Looks like Be'lakor may just save himself out of here too. Yeah, only one hit going through on Be'lakor.
60 damage.
both these conglomerations of enormous smashy power, just bouncing harmlessly off of each other. Be'lakor does have the opportunity to kill the unit, but he needs to roll really well to do so. He doesn't ignore their benefits, so he does, or their attack modifiers. So he does wound them on 3s, excuse me. And only hits on 4s, so he would have to roll extremely well. This is a situation where you really want the Khorne Warp Storm ability to add a pretty significant amount of damage to both of the greater demons and number of attacks here.
Nope.
It's 4.
Takes 4, down to 16.
Belacor.
Ooh, and the Bloodthirster gets hit down to 16, so he is
You are
available to be
big swing from
2-rounded,
Be'lakor.
which between all of the shooting and the melee may
got
be able to
one
happen,
guy
and
from
that
long
could be
range,
really
right?
bad.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really frustrating. Alright. Yeah, no, the damage one is not going to do anything. Alright, hitting on 4s because you're trying to sit.
No. And there's a
We
bunch
got
of
minus 1.
hits.
Strength 12, so we would be 2s, but it's 3s.
All the wound, though.
3.
AP. So AP 3 goes to 5 up either way.
Yeah, you've got no invuln, but it's irrelevant. Sure,
Damage.
these are all damage, D3 plus 3.
So first one.
First one, 6.
Survive this, idiot.
On the one guy. That's all 6 stacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
No.
He's dead.
We got one.
Next one.
Next one.
And it looks like Csaszi is trying to pull the Bloodthirster out of melee by assigning wounds to the model who's engaging him, which is going to be a pretty smart because it means that the Bloodthirster won't get to do his end of fight phase additional mortal wounds.
So 3 dice.
Oh, almost got him, chat. Although, to be fair, let's be real here. There is a significant chance that these Terminators run away. Be'lakor is reducing their leadership and combat attrition by 2. Which means their leadership 8 and just lost 8 models, so they have to insane bravery to survive. Or to not fail the leadership. But then the other model runs on a 4. So there's a very significant chance that this unit runs away.
Frustrating. He's gonna get shot to pieces. Well. Suppose we just make a 3-inch.
Yeah, what are we doing
You
here?
cannot pile in because you fight with him
you're
first.
Right. I thought apologies.
And that was a base.
Yeah, he just didn't do anything. It's not that he didn't fight. He
So
didn't
leadership
do
on
any damage.
Terminators. I guess they are leadership 10.
Yeah, minus 2.
Minus
from
7.
Be'lakor.
So it's 8. I'm
yeah.
gonna roll.
That's a fail.
By the last guy.
All right, let's see it.
He's fine. So I have the champion left.
Sure.
Is he fine? He runs, right?
And then they
So,
all come back to life magically.
end of the turn, I didn't kill more in shooting. I killed more in close combat. And I hold, because I killed the demonettes and
Yep.
the Lord of
And
Change, and
the
I
Lord
hold
of
more
Change.
objective. Because I hold 3.
Yeah, so for Reality Rebels, I don't have the center, but I
Do
do
the
have
Terminators ignore combat attrition modifiers?
Good question.
Because I think that last guy will actually run on
Should
a
be at
4.
-3, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's below
Yeah.
half and takes 1 from Demonic Terror and 1 from Bellicor.
So it's -2 for combat attrition.
-3
-3.
total.
Good question. Let me check.
Yeah, I think it's just Black Legion Terminators, right?
It's the data sheet.
Well, Bellicor might save the day here, chat. And no CP to auto pass for Csaszi. So that you just gotta eat it.
Or should it say if I ignore it or not?
I don't know. I think there should probably be a rule if you do.
Yeah, I think it's only Black Legion that does it. Usually it's
see
like a
what
sub-faction of the
should-
fee. Yeah.
Let me check. It's loaded up.
Unless it's buried somewhere in their their data sheet abilities.
Nope. So he's goodbye.
Alright, cool. I will wander forwards with the old... can you walk forwards? Can you consolidate?
No, that's more alphas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he has already
yeah.
fought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're right. So 2 for Reality Rebels. Nothing for banners yet.
Yeah,
Might-
Bellicor could have
might
just
say-
charged onto the objective.
Yeah,
I'm
but 12.
honestly not sure why he didn't place him on there. That was a big mistake, honestly. Because it donates a 12-pointer to Csaszi. Bellicor rolled a 9-inch charge if we go back to the charge phase there, and could have just towed the base right here. And because you're going to swing with the Bloodthirster first basically every time to try to prevent its phase cap, so the Emperor's Children are going to fight simultaneously with Bellicor because they have Mark of Slaanesh. So you know that Bellicor is going to get based before he gets to swing. So I think the problem is that Beldaren maybe didn't expect the Terminators to be able to block his pile-in. But they did. So there it is. Now I think things are about to go downhill for the Demons here. That was a pretty good turn, but the downside is that obviously Beldaren gave up that that big hit to the that big objective turn. We do have these Noise Marines moving over to objective 4. They're going to be able to steal that back by charging through the wall. They already have objective 2, so they're probably going to start bannering, doing actions up there. And I think that we may have all of the Blastmasters just rotate onto this Bloodthirster, do 8 damage to it, which we have to remember is only 2 converted attacks from the heavy profile on the Blastmaster, because those things are so dangerous. And then Abaddon probably can try to kill him
You don't have anything else.
by himself. And I think once Abaddon kills the Bloodthirster, it's going to be difficult for Bellicor to kill Abaddon in the swing back. He could do it, because he can do enough damage in melee, but it's unlikely. Or in the psychic phase, excuse me, but it's unlikely. He's actually very good at killing him in melee because he ignores the invulnerable save. So you get one blank save from Mark of Tzeentch, and then otherwise you're just saving on 5s, I guess, which is a little bit awkward. So one of those is certainly going to go through, and you probably take 3 damage from a Flamer shot. But getting that last 3 damage in is going to be tough. There is also a Fluxmaster here that is character protected, so it may be that gets to do a couple extra damage. But I think Abaddon's going to eat enough energy to kill here that the Noise Marines will get to survive another turn and just start farming primary objective points. So just to clarify, only one unit can do the prime explosives a turn.
Yes, they are doing the prime explosive and they are doing ban.
Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure.
That was turn 1, so that's it.
Oh, that was from the other Noise Marine squad that was over there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All good. I don't cheat much.
List.
Just not sure which unit performed that on the first turn. Because one unit had to advance to the center, right?
Muscle possession is going on.
We can be getting another.
Hot dog crawler. 13.
Killing 10. Yeah, I think so. That must have been from the unit that just made a normal move on turn 1. I do remember that. Killing 10 Chaos Terminators 1 turn, still impressive. I agree, chat. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough to do, but certainly the Moralis definitely helps because those units are so big. Combat attrition modifiers absolutely hammer them if you can kill enough in one go. And that was even with, like, to be fair, that was with the Bloodthirster dramatically underperforming. The Bloodthirster was probably good for 2 or 3 Terminators, and they just literally saved all but one of the incoming attacks. You know, sometimes it happens.
Alright.
Sometimes you get on the good side of
We're gonna smite.
the 4-ups, and sometimes you get on the bad side of the
So
4-ups.
I can only see the Bloodthirst for the smite.
You can see Bellicor.
He's touching?
No, he's 20 plus wounds.
Oh,
It's true.
that's true.
He a big boy.
Can I come anyway that he's closer?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be tough.
Mm. There. Sorry.
Yep.
All right, fair enough.
Oh, let's do it with a smite from the Master's Possession. Goes off on an 8.
Alright, we will try and deny with our Flux Master. That does not deny. I might. Give me a sec. I think it's a Corn stratagem.
Yeah, we
but
could
it
see
may
a
well be a Corn.
scorn of sorcery over here happening.
Warpstone Point, which I can't use. Yeah, that was a stratagem. Definitely a stratagem. I think it's 1 CP on a 4-up. It doesn't work, but let me just find it.
Only one Warpstone point roll this turn.
Contempt for sorcery.
That's
We'll try it.
very
1 CP,
unfortunate.
4 plus.
All right, here we go. Try to stop the incoming damage to the Bloodthirster. Oh, rolled the 3
Comes off anyway.
every time.
Must
These
try.
3. 1.
Well, that's 1 more than none. Oh, it's your turn, isn't it? Sorry. I need to roll Warpstone points.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't roll Warpstone. All right.
Just ignore the D.
That would be why there's only one in the chamber.
Cool.
Hey, a big
5.
5er. So we do have the heal
Still
online
not
potentially if we don't want to get the +1 to cast. Though the +1 to cast can
doesn't
try
go
to
off.
convert mortal wounds onto Abaddon, which is pretty important. So we may
Don't have
elect
anyone
to do
that
that.
can
It does
heal,
depend on how
so
hard the
+1.
Bloodthirster gets hit, though. If the Bloodthirster doesn't die
Don't
here, I
have
think you
buffers.
lock in the heal on it to keep it going.
We go on.
Is
to
that
the
on what,
Noise
turn 8? We'll try and deny.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Bellicor will try and deny. Nope, 27.
That was a +1 front on the Noise Marines.
Very nice.
Demon Prince will smite.
Yep.
Second
Prince
smite,
will
so
smite.
this is good.
Yeah. Yep. D3.
These 3. Come on, give me the 3. There you go.
Cool. That was 12.
Alright. Shooting phase. I'm gonna put a Abaddon is gonna shoot the Bloodthirster.
Mhm.
4 shots, hitting in 2s, exploding 6s, rerolls.
Oh, Abaddon. You slime inks. All those explosions.
4.
They just face kept the Bloodthirster right here, unfortunately.
6s.
Yep.
But the real wound is against the closest target. Let me check.
Could be Bellicor from Abaddon.
I want to check his ability, which he's put on himself.
Mhm.
I know I have +1 hit against the closest unit because I'm Black Legion. Where's it at? No, I can reroll wounds. Right. So 3, AP doesn't matter, but it damage 2.
Sure. Pause.
Let's see. These noise marine units. Maybe a shoot. Bloodthirster. With big profile. 1 hit. 28.
Pause.
Freeze. Force. 1.
Pause.
That's damage 4.
Oof.
Thinking whether I want to CP that. What other shooting have you got? You've
Another
these
noise
guys.
marine unit and Venom Crawler.
We'll try CPing that.
Yeah, try to retain the face
Nope.
cap. Spend the
He
CP
took
for
6,
no,
right?
no benefit there.
He's taken 6 so far.
Oof.
Okay, so the Venom Crawler is going to shoot
Sure.
6 shots.
Yeah, I think this Bloodthirster definitely
Hitting
going
the
down,
freeze
chat,
because
unfortunately.
he ignored the minuses.
Needed to not hit that phase cap
6
last
slow.
turn. Although I don't think it would have made a
And
huge
we are
difference
at 6.
because he did have just enough psychic powers to get the Bloodthirster down.
And the noise marines.
Basically going to kill him exactly. Bellicor is still going to be a powerhouse, though. Certainly
Big profile.
resilient to a lot of the profiles that the
3-0
Chaos Space Marines
once.
have remaining here. But Beldaren's running out of time to make
Once
something
it.
happen to get back in this game, unfortunately.
Yeah, we did it. Good job, kids.
Yeah, they're shooting. I don't think so. You have 1 CP, you cannot interrupt.
Nope.
Let's see. So these noise marines will charge the flamers here.
Sure. There's a nice wall hiding, so I can't overwatch you. You need a 5. That's more than a 5.
I rolled a 12, so these guys will come in within an inch.
It's easy with these constant double 6s on charges, by the way. Must be nice. So it just looks like we're going to try to engage the second Flamer unit. We do have that 5 Orb Storm points in the chamber there, chat. Which I could see Beldaren try to use to get the Immortal Wounds on 6s for his Zinch units.
Right?
Yes, but I can pile into the other guys, so you cannot fall back and shoot.
Sure. Are you closer to this unit than you were to start with?
I only have to put 1 guy in engagement range. I can go wherever I want.
Alright.
With the charging move, you can go any direction. You just have to finish with 1 model within engagement range.
Can confirm. That is how that works.
Okay.
Demon Prince. We go into the Bloodthirster. Spend 1 to add 6 to the range. D6 plus 2.
Oh,
That's
exactly
8. I
makes
think I need
it.
to do
Don't overdo it there, Demon Prince. There you go.
that
Oof, that was a little scary.
Yep.
And Abaddon fighting Bellicor. We do have 1 CP for Trans Hitman, and Bellicor cannot be rerolled against.
Plus 1, so it's
So
more.
Abaddon has actually a little bit of a tough time killing Bellicor in 1 swing. Bellicor, that's an interesting thing about Bellicor's defensive profile, is that he's resilient against a lot of the opposing Smash characters in the game. So he
you have
often
Sun
wins
Off with
duels.
Bellicor, right? So I have to start there.
Okay, it doesn't give you first hit, but I'm going to use to get Trans Hitman on Bellicor.
Can I reroll or?
You cannot reroll against Bellicor, no. Well, you can reroll wins, just not hits.
So I have 9 attacks. Hitting on 4s, exploding 6s.
That's pretty good.
Strength 10,
And that Wonton Destruction.
Threes,
Those
Wonton
Wontons
Force.
getting blown up right
but
now.
rerolls. 6s are D3 extra mortal
Ugh.
ones in addition.
Not a great roll there.
So 3 saves and D3 mortal ones.
Okay.
What do you got here, Be'lakor? Can you save out of this? Yeah, only one goes through.
So it's 4 damage on D3. Takes
1. So 5 damage, not
5
10.
damage. Demon Prince. He has 5 attacks. 2s. Rolling 6s. Rerolling every hit because of the Mantle of Traitors. Roll 6. Strength. Strength is 6 plus 1. 7 plus 1. Strength 8.
So 4s.
Maybe doesn't matter. Damage free.
Alright, we need to save at least 3 of these. We saved none of them. That's a good start. Alright, Bloodthirster down.
Oof.
My rolling has not been great for those saves.
So 3 guys will hit the flamers.
Just real quick, how much damage did Abaddon do to Be'lakor?
4.
5. Did 1 mortal and damage 4 got through.
What gives him the extra damage?
It's the 60s are D3 mortal wounds. 60 wound.
Yeah, in addition to normal damage.
Oh, he's damage
right?
free. He's damage free.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Sure.
Say before damage free. Yeah.
That's
I was
big.
These
fixing
Chaos
on,
Space Marine players, chat.
I
You
was
gotta
fixated on the
you gotta keep them.
Yeah, no worries.
You gotta keep
So
them.
I have 2 normal guys, which has 6 attacks, plus 2 for the chainswords. They are hitting on 2s, they're on 1s, exploding
Who's
6s.
this again,
Keep
sorry?
them honest.
These
They're
two.
very
Into the
dishonest.
flamers.
To be fair.
These 2 flamers, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand the 5 damage here,
6s,
champ.
and they have plus 1 strength, so they're only on freeze now. For its toughness 5, right?
T4, I believe.
So freeze.
Yep.
So 8 saves. These are damage 1.
The Demon Prince cannot honor the Prince. Oh, because
Hold
is it core locked, chat? Jesus. I'm glad we watched this game on stream. Oh my god.
So hit me back with Be'lakor.
Yep. I've also got these flamers and this.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Everybody.
Let's start there. Let's start with the Exalted Flamer. No, let's start with the Flamers, because otherwise you'll just potentially move out of stuff. So, let's pile in with the Flamers.
Oh, it's Demon Kin, not Demon.
To Abaddon.
Oh my god.
That would be bad for us.
So let's see the character.
Oh
Yay.
jeez, chat. All right, yeah. Well, I'll bring it up in a sec.
Yeah, you've killed 2.
We'll complete these
Alright,
fights.
Well, you killed,
I think what we'll probably do is
Oh,
just
yeah.
have
I'm in this turn.
Kasazi
no,
re-roll
in
the
total
charge
you
here.
killed 2. This turn, just the 1 for now. Right. 19 attacks. Hit on 4s.
I guess the Demon Prince is the prince,
I
right?
think that's to wound.
He's the prince who's gonna be honored.
The hero wants to wound from the. The hero wants to wound.
So he's not gonna
from
honor
the-
himself. You
Yeah.
know?
From the Exalted Flamer.
Yeah, rerolling ones to hit from Be'lakor and rerolling ones to win from the Luxmaster.
Hmm?
So, forced to hit, rerolling once.
Good thing.
And then their strength 5 T4.
Yep.
3s, rerolling ones. Nope. Just 8.
AP nothing, I guess.
AP nothing, yeah. 3 ups.
Oh,
Oh, some good rolling. Yeah, Exalted Flame will go next. So he's 4 attacks, hit on 3s. Not within 6 of Be'lakor, so just 2. And then he's strength 6, so it's still 3s.
That mortal wound to Upstorm would have been really good here, chat. I think you
AP
could
nothing.
plow these guys for like 4 mortals.
So Be'lakor.
Not quite.
Yep, this is the one that matters, I guess. We'll do big strikes, because not that it makes much difference.
What's the strength?
He is strength 14. No, 12. 12.
12. So you might find wound because you are double my toughness Nurgle mark.
What was that, sorry?
I have the Nurgle mark, so if you double my toughness, you minus 1 the wound.
Okay, so I'll be winning on 3s. Hit on 2s. No rerolls.
The Nurgle effect is a
Swinging
strange
on
one,
3s.
in my opinion. Comes
It's,
comes
not
into
good.
play so often that it's
3.
kind of funky.
AP.
AP 4, no inbuns.
So 5 ups.
Or so unoften, I guess, Chan.
Good.
Oh, Jesus.
Good. The first failed save is 0 damage. So
That is-
Abaddon
that is
blanks out
exactly how
Bellicor's
this game is
attacks.
going right now.
end of my phase, no moral tests to make.
No,
Yeah, so just real quick, just pause real quick. The Demon Prince actually cannot be targeted by Honor the Prince. So I'm just going to have you re-roll your charge with him, which I think needed a natural 8.
Okay. So I need an 8.
Yeah. And then you
And
can
I have
CP
the
it if
CP.
you have the CP there. Okay, so
That's
yeah.
good.
The game stayed
Sorry.
without
You had
it.
the CP, right?
There you
You
go.
didn't have,
Well,
since
'cause
this turn,
he's-
you don't have any CP.
He spent the CP to Honor the Prince, so he would have had that
Okay,
to reroll
sure.
the charge.
Yeah,
and stuff,
that makes sense. Cool.
Sorry. Thank you, Trevor.
No worries.
Ta-da! Game state fixed. We've done it.
All right.
All right. So no more scoring for me, but the end of the battle round. So you get 4 primary.
Yeah, for sure, chat. It's
Yeah.
just weird, like,
And one
you could
better.
make it
Yeah.
like +1 toughness to a character or something, or like a 5+ damage ignore to a character, and it would like probably be fine. But the issue is like as soon as you apply it to a whole unit, it goes absolutely bonkers. So you're right.
You have to
It's just
go
weird
all
because
the
it's like such a specific restriction on basically one model in the army. Whereas like honestly, all the other marks are very strong. You often see those big Terminator bricks if you're not building in for
Just over. If you're happy with
the Delightful Agonies. You see Zinch a lot, just because ignoring a failed saving throw every turn is a big deal.
Yeah, I've got flamers that are trapped in combat.
Looks like we
I
may
can't
get a
kill
talk out here,
Abaddon
chat.
to help me, and I think you just control.
Well,
too
we
much
have
board.
viewers.
Sure. What's the etiquette around this, Trevi?
What's the question? Sorry.
What's the etiquette around conceding on stream?
Oh yeah, I mean that's fine. I'm not gonna force you to play out a game if you don't want to.
I mean, this is definitely over.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that it didn't screw you over.
Yeah,
at all.
no, you're all good. That's totally fine.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the game.
Yeah, just
congratulations on your victory.
work out your final scores. I'll go ahead and put them in once you have them.
Sure.
So this turn,
So yeah,
how
looks
many
like we'll get a
can I
talk out
get
here, Chat.
on
I think that's fair.
reels?
Losing the
Probably
Bloodthirster there was
2
probably
at most.
the unfortunate
You
part.
can
I think,
move
I
with
mean,
one flamer
definitely
unit
we
and
wanted to
see
keep
some
that Lord of Change
possession,
alive
massive
for another turn. That would have been
possession,
good,
so you get possession.
and certainly helped things out.
So I'm gonna kill 2 characters. I'm gonna get end of the battle round. I killed more in false combat. I killed the character with the character, and I hold it more.
Yep. You're gonna max out assassination on 15.
I guess I'm gonna max banners.
I would assume so. You've got 2, 3 currently, so you're gonna get 3 a turn for the next 2 turns, possibly with this one.
Let's say in the next
So some people be like,
2
it should
rounds,
be
I'm gonna get
-1
at
to
least
wound.
5 more in this, and at least 8 primaries.
Oh my god, could you
Yeah, probably
imagine?
12 in the
Chat?
last turn.
You just like save the CP on Black
I went first, so
permanent -11
let's say
anyway.
8. I don't want to be greedy. You're gonna kill the Demon Prince, the Massive Possession.
Yep.
I say you kill Abaddon. I don't care.
I think that's very generous. I don't think that's gonna happen, but we'll see.
You have 4 more banners, and at least 6 more on the rear rebels.
Yeah, something like that.
Because you can go into the middle, so let's say 7.
I think that's the case with every army right now, chat. Like everyone's like, "Oh, my army sucks."
Last turn, you're gonna get.
I mean, that was me too. When the
because I'm
Tyranids
not
came out, I
gonna-
played a
I'm not
couple
gonna have
games
any
before like the
shifting
lists
in
had been broken down, and I just got shit on by like pre-nerf Custodes. I was like, "This army's bad."
Something like that.
I don't have
Nice.
double moves. How am I supposed to win? Turns out I was wrong.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, guys. I will
Thanks very
get
much.
your scores in, so you are all set.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you
Trevi.
both.
See you guys around.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'm sure I'll see you again. Have a good one. All right, chat. Well, that was a relatively quick one. I think it's interesting. Definitely learned some rules. Honor the Prince is a weird one. It's weird that it literally cannot target the only model named a prince in the codex. But, I guess it kind of makes sense. Surprised Creations of Bile hasn't been nerfed yet. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't even know if Creations of Bile is the most egregious subfaction in Heretic Astartes. I mean, Emperor's Children has proven to be probably more consistent. I would rather just see maybe like Black Rune of Damnation or Illusory Supplication get nerfed. If Illusory Supplication was only hit on 3s instead of only hit on 4s, I feel like the faction would be like so different. You could hit any one of the pieces of the Terminator combo, and I think you basically like do enough to cast Space Brains. That is probably fine. But I think, yeah, Creations of Bile is like, it definitely feels like it vacillates wildly between either being like extremely powerful, like unbeatably powerful, or being really tough. I'll switch over to my face cam here while we ramp things up. Yeah, Illusory Supplication, I think, is the one that definitely gets me going the most. Illusory, it's the combination, right? So like you have your -1 to be wounded, you're Illusory Supplicated, your +1 toughness, and can heal your models back, and it feels like that's way more defensive attributes than any other army has access to in any one time, right? So like, and I think it remains to be seen whether or not it actually needs to be nerfed, because I do think the game plan's kind of straightforward. It's certainly not unbeatable, and the biggest downside is that it's kind of doing like a High Fleet Leviathan thing, right? Where it just creates the faction ends up turning into like this monoculture where the 10-man Terminator brick is the best model and the best unit in the Codex, full stop. And so you always start every list with like MOP, Dark Apostle, 10-man Terminators, and then go from there, and like probably Abaddon. And I think that's harmful to the Codex. But I don't know if I would go so far to say like the Codex needs to be nerfed. It's too broken. It's just pretty strong. I mean, it is better than Levy Warriors now for sure. But I do think Warriors are in a much better spot now, partially because I think they've been power crept a little bit, but also because they lost Leviathan, they're a lot squishier. And Tyranids as a whole is monumentally easier to kill. So, what am I trying to say? I think that I don't know. I think that it's a little bit different, right? Because Warriors are like a troops option and are seen in every Tyranid army, whereas the Terminator brick is like sort of a non-core option that's seen in every army. I don't know. It ends up being part of the faction identity now. Beldaren only been playing for about 2 to 3 months. Well, congratulations to getting to the finals tables here, dude. I think it definitely feels like you're. We'll see you back, and you'll be slaying people in no time. It was a little bit unfortunate there. I think both you guys were learning some rules, which is a little bit interesting. So I hope that you can take those. You can take those home, and I think for the most part your decision making is pretty good. The one thing that I noticed was the failure to put Bellicor in the center objective there. It just gave up 4 points. And I think you probably could have hid the Flamers a little bit better that had jumped in on turn 1, but I don't know if that was a huge deal. Yeah, I mean, the chicken is just like, I mean, if you don't know a rule, you don't know a rule. Like, there's not much you can do about that. Like, what piece of advice can you give to somebody? Just read your codex again. I don't know. Like, it is what it is. Funny how much of a faction was propped up by bricks of warriors that could eat an entire army of shooting and not die, for sure. I mean, Tyranids are demonstrably still good without Leviathan warriors, and I think it's fine. And it is unfortunate because I mean, it's fortunate they got nerfed. It was unfortunate that they were so strong because that army was really boring. Yeah, we were talking about it, chat. The Demon Prince is the one to be honored. He's not the one receiving the honors. All right. I am going to go at rating. Let's go rating real quick. Let's see if anybody's live. Ooh, a lot of people live. Kara Elvenblood's live. We'll go raid her. Cool, chats. Well, thanks, everyone, coming and hanging out. Tomorrow, I have 2 streams scheduled. I think between tomorrow and Friday, if I remember correctly, I'm gonna go double check this. So stay tuned to the stream schedule. I think that Darktide beta starts tomorrow, so I may literally just stream starting tomorrow morning through Friday. That just may be what happens. This weekend, unfortunately, I'm going to be out and playing an RTT on Saturday. But we have 2 games scheduled Thursday. I have a game scheduled in the afternoon, and then evening we have the pod 18 final. 18? No, not 20 finals. Pod 20. So that's good. And once those are done, so beforehand, I have some time, and I'll probably stream some Darktide if it's open. Otherwise, it'll just be Friday. But I'd like to get at least one more game in as well on maybe on Friday too. So I'll be live a lot over the next couple days. All right, yeah, dude, it's another Darktide beta. Come play with me, dude. Let's play. I think you might need a copy of the game, so you may just need to jump on a pre-order. I don't remember though. All right, I'm gonna go raiding. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you later. Have a good one.